really basic, still getting used to running this thing basically. We've got a little following. See here, it's very smooth, but we had to ride back against this and it was doing 20 instead of 10, which is what it's doing right now. Wouldn't be fun. All right, guys, well, we have arrived. Beautiful spot. We got the whole harbor to ourselves. We are ducking out of the wind. It's been a little bit of a bumpy ride over here. Thankfully, I don't have to make it on the way home. The wind really mostly was to my back. Got a little wet, but not much. So let's see what we can do here. Let's get the trolling motor set up. We are throwing gulp shrimp. I'll show you them in a minute. Deep little cut through here. We are just gonna bump along here, try to keep this thing working slow on this chilly, cold morning. When you think you're slow enough, just slow it down even more. And hopefully you're then going slow enough. But the trout do like it chilly. There's a fish. There's a fish right on cue. Hey. Trout do like it chilly. Tomorrow will probably be the better day, but today's the day I got. So the front just came through last night. There's a pretty little fish. Let's just try not to slam our knees on the ground first of all, and let's just sit here for a second. The only thing I don't like about that spot lock is it tries to get you right where you told it to go in a hurry. So instead of just kind of easing back, it really slams on the brakes and screams a little too loud for a minute. Once it gets to the spot, like we're back there now, it'll sit here and quietly keep us locked in. But that's a good sign. Actually, he wasn't where I was supposed to be casting. It's just I saw that riprap and naturally threw over there. However, it's a little bit more shallow there on the inside of this curve, but he hit it right at the boat in the deeper water. There you go. Oh, that's right where he was at too. Come on. I won't mind catching a mess of trout. There's something keep bumping me. Might have been a puffer. Got some chunks missing there. Definitely was a puffer. Now here's what we're working with. Gulp Alive New Penny. Just swung by Ace Hardware this morning. On the way out. On the way here, I should say. I just figure, cold morning. Let's throw something that, you know, I prefer to have shrimp. But I didn't feel like stopping and getting shrimp. And I just wanted the ease of a relaxing artificial day. Incoming tide here. Let's just bump it back to the boat. And these gulp, they're a little expensive, but they work. And I kind of want to do a test today. I've never done any like dead sticking with them, but I'm going to just, you know, snapper are not the easiest thing to catch on artificial. I'm just going to go underneath a couple of these docks and pitch it and just let it sit. I'm going to see if a snapper will pick it up. Of course, it'd be nice if a redfish or a drum or something did instead. I just want to see. Nope, doggone it. He just spit out my other puffer. This puffer just spit out my other gulp. Well, still. There goes Cito. Might be a slow day, hopefully. I'm sure he's hoping for a slow day. Not a day you want to be out here towing people home in. Alright. At least he didn't get my bait this time. He didn't even get a chunk of it. He got nothing but the hook. Alright, let's move along. Definitely don't want to mess with those. Let's move along. We've got multiple canals up here. That feed into this little pass here. So we should have plenty of really good deep water. Some bigger openings. Should be a place for find some trout here schooled up. Wouldn't even mind getting in a little school of rat reds. We're not picky today. I gotta slow this thing down is what I gotta do. Let this thing go all the way to the bottom. Slowly lift it up. Here, a little twitch, a little splash on the top of the water. Oh, there he is. Something thumping me. Dang it. Tighten this drag. Something pulled it down there. That was definitely not a puffer. Bald eagle. Check that out. Surprised I haven't got anything, to be honest with you. One trout at the mouth of this creek, that's it so far. Right there, fiddling with the trolling motor. Not sure what's that bumping me. It might just be snapper. I don't know though. I feel like I should have tore up this thing a little bit. All it's done is pull it down off the hook twice. Yep, another little hit. Just a little snapper. Probably. Got that thing on crooked. There's that bald eagle coming at us here with a big, about a 5-foot stick. I'm gonna build him a nest. There we go. That ain't no snapper. That ain't no snapper. That's a better trout. That's a keeper trout right there. Yes, sir. That's a keeper trout. That won't make you pout. All right, come here. Nice. Nice. Beautiful fish. Beautiful cold water spotted sea trout. He's about to jump. I want to show you his mouth. Look how bright that is. Bright orange. So pretty. I'm going to give you a proper release here, buddy. See ya. Boy, ain't that hole looking pretty though? We got this buffed out. I was honestly thinking about repainting this boat. I wasn't crazy about the color, all flat looking as it was, and I buffed it out when I first got it, but this time we buffed it. I buffed it out and waxed it. This time we buffed it and put ceramic coating on it, and man, it's got a beautiful rich color. Absolutely love the color now. Yanked off that ugly old Tahatsu. Now I'm super excited about this boat. Happy, like it, like the colors. White trolling motor, white outboard, aqua green, whatever you might want to call it. And then we've got actually the cream color, which I like that as well instead of white. Got a couple things I'm going to do to it. I'm going to order from Ginu the new cushions. These new cushions, they're kind of dry, a little cracking. They got a grab bar that goes right here over the center console, which is nice because this thing is, you know, it's tight when you go wiggling through there. It'd be nice just to have something, boom, put your hand on it, you can go by much faster, more confident. And then it also needs, doesn't need, but the little control switch for the accessories, the you know, little toggle switches. They sell a new panel for that. Put a brand new panel on there. That's it. I could put stickers on it, but I like it going without no stickers, saying like Gnu and all that. I could use some new one of those. I took most of them off, but what else? Oh, and then the electronics. Nice little electronics package, and by golly, at that point in time, I should have just bought a new boat, but no. That little creek. It's a kayak creek at best. Well, the report I am going off of that lured me to this spot on this cold day was like 40 trout right around here, just hammering them left and right. White live bait, artificials, you name it, they threw it, it hit it. So it's not that bite, but I'm having to work at them a little bit more. That's fishing. We're just gonna take our time. We got all day. No sun to speak of. Oh, was that something right here? Not gonna get hot. It's nice and cool. I got a cooler full of provisions. Maybe something over here. Just gotta work it slow, which is kind of against my normal instinct. Just work it slow. Today I am throwing, I know some of you guys like to ask, it's a 7-foot rod. I've got it's a little Daiwa 2500 reel, and I've got 10-pound braid and 20-pound mono to help the bait sink slower. I went with a smaller jig head, but I could go on smaller. This is all I had. This is a I believe it's a 1/4 ounce Trout Eye by Z-Man. It's a small hook, smaller than I like, but I figured we were primarily going to be targeting trout, that it would work. And so far, so good. Haven't missed too many fish. Tell you what, the bite would pick up, the sun would come out a little bit. All right, let's move along. This is not a spot, if you know this spot, that you would post up. It is not a spot to drop anchor. I mean, it's illegal to drop anchor, and it's stupid. There's a lot of boat traffic today. Obviously, we ain't got much going on, and I'm not anchoring anyway, but this could be a real busy spot. we go. Oh. Got it. Had a fish on. Didn't even know it. Real deep on this right side. I'll just stay right here for a minute. There we go. There's another trout. Real pretty water, man. Real clear. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful thing. Pretty little Charlotte Harbor trout. A little bit, about same size, That last one, a little bit smaller. There we go, let go. Give me back my bait, please. Thank you. Pretty. See ya. Oh, water ain't too bad, really. Ain't too cold. I tell you what. This spot lock has got to be the greatest invention for fishermen in the last 30 years. Ever since the hook. Power pools are nice. Might add one eventually. But man, not as good as a spot lock. Oh, dang on, there he was again. I mean, you just stop right on a dime where you want. Another fish. Nope. Yeah, it was a fish too. Stinking puffer fish, man. Stinking puffers are going through my gulps. $20 for a pack of these Gulp. And you get a lot of live shrimp for $20. Tell me they give me in here. Doesn't even say. They're a good bait. They are a good bait. Nice fresh one right there. Let's go get a trout. Big old gator trout. My last video, I ended the video on a trout bait. I don't know, I caught 8 or something, and but they were little. 12-inch trout. These ones are a little more respectable. Enough to make me happy. Oh, dang it, what was that? I don't know, I almost wonder if I got into a rock there. That felt like a lot of weight. It felt a little heavier. I don't know, than a fish, we'll see. Right in the middle of this channel though, it's a brand new cut. I don't know, I don't think they should have a big rock down there already, should they? Unless they dredged this down to the limestone. quietly. Sneak back here. I'll give it 5 minutes here. We got another canal, another, multiple canals here converging into this pass. Oh. What's it doing? This troll motor's dancing all around up there. It's getting confused. Tell you what, whoever lives at that house has got a prime little fishing spot. And a cool spot where they're going to see a lot of boat traffic. There's another one. There's another trout. I feel like I hear a boat coming. That's the beauty of spot locked. I am kind of anchored, but I'm just a push button away from easing away. That's another little pretty trout. Now, oh, what happened? Look at that. That's a pretty trout. Sit still, sit still, sit still. Hold still, buddy. Hold still, buddy. Let me show everybody. What a pretty fish. What a beautiful thing. Trout fishing, no matter where you're fishing for them, is pretty. In the mountains or sea trout in the beautiful Charlotte Harbor. All right. Good time. Glad I thought of it. Glad I thought of it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go fishing. Then I looked at the weather and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going out there. And I said, well, you know what? I can stay in the canals. We are gonna try to get into some snook. Snook and snapper, maybe. Hitting these docks, but first we're going to stay here with this trout bite. They're making us work for them. But they're here. I know this is such a busy spot. I guarantee you most days I would be getting hammered by boat traffic. It wouldn't even be worth it. This is perfect. Monday morning. Overcast. There goes a train in the background. Nobody here to bug me. Windy, cold. Nobody going out today. The downtown Punta Gorda train going by. Been doing that for 100 years. More. 150 years. Golly, could you imagine the fishing here 150 years ago? I mean, you can get on trout bite days where you still, to this day, you can go out and catch 100 fish if you got the right spot. Could you imagine just getting into trout 100 years ago? Like the schools, you just throw a hook at them. You'd be hooked up. You didn't even need a bait. There you go. I'm not sure if that's a little better one or he was just way out there. I think he was just way out there. Yeah. Another pretty fish. Boy, this water is just absolutely gorgeous. It's probably hard for you guys to see on camera because it's so dark, it's so overcast. But absolutely pretty clean water. Incoming out of the Gulf. Let me get a grip on you here, buddy. see ya. Yeah. What I do with my towel. Only people coming out today on the boat would be multiple reasons, but generally it's going to be somebody moving something big that already had it on the calendar and just got to go somewhere. I'm not sure if I'm just got into a good little patch of them, or you know, if it's just starting to warm up a little bit. It ain't warming up a lot, but the sun is trying to push through. That ain't no trout, I don't think. Yeah, a little jack. Feisty little jack. Let him burn a little energy. So cool though. Oh man, he's blooding all over me. All over me. Boat. Oh, man. Choked that. Oh man, he thought that was, I'm all tangled up. He thought that was a real shrimp. Oh no, he didn't choke it. Why is he bleeding so bad? Hit an artery in his jaw. No, he's bleeding out his gills. This is interesting. Unless he come unhooked and then rehooked. So I don't think that happened. Hey. Oh, that gulp's gone. Lost it. You know what? Let's just bring everything back here for now, and let's not forget it. Up here on my filleting table. Nice having a poling platform, actually. I'm not going to use it today, but nice getting up on top of the water in the flats. Like super cool, actually. And just move some stuff around here. Nice to have it right now too. It's a good seat. I got a little station here I can work off of. Can lean up against it. Here come some other crazies out here on this cold winter day. Gonna blow up my spot. See if I can pull out a fish before they do. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. We don't want them to know what a good spot this is. Control motor's got me perfectly out of the way, and I'm actually pushing them to the inside. The fish we've been catching are here on the right, so it should be fine. You know what I'm gonna do? This is gonna be a test number 1 of dead sticking this thing. I'm just gonna throw it out there and let it sit. Not even gonna touch it till they go by. Pretend like I'm live bait fishing. Doggone it, I'm hooked up. Hooked up on the way down, man. Wasn't even paying attention. It's a little drift craft.
How you doing? You getting anything?
Couple little trout. Yeah, it is.
Trout?
Couple little trout, yeah.
You caught 2 trout?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
I had to tow a boat up. It went dry.
Oh, okay.
So I towed him up to hot stimmy on and took it out.
Okay.
We're going back. But you got 2 trout here?
Yeah, I got 3 or 4 little trout in here. Yep.
Keep us at least something around.
Yeah. No, I didn't keep them.
No keepers?
No. Yeah, they probably couple. Yeah, it's a grift craft. I did a video on one of them at the Fort Myers boat show. You can get them things for dirt cheap. They're pretty chintzy inside though. Really thin. thin fiberglass on the seats and the bench seats, and oh man. Anyway, I had a fish when that thing went down. Let's see. I hope they didn't run my bite off. I was saying that guy's probably got, he does have an amazing fishery right in his back of his canal. Golly, anything. He'd throw out big old half a blue crab and catch monster reds and black drum, snapper and sheephead all day long under his dock. Obviously trout out here in the middle. Cool spot. But something about fishing, it's like if that's your backyard, you end up not doing it very often. Maybe you come out in the evening and take a few casts, but part of the fun, and the fun I'm having today, is exploring, going to a new spot, which is risky. You know, you got your 4 spots that you know, or 5 or 2 or whatever, and ultimately you obviously want to catch fish. If you start exploring new territory, it's a good chance you're not going to catch something. But when you do, I think that's like the best part of fishing. Exploring new area, figuring some fish out, getting a bite, new scenery. Although it is quite exciting rolling up to a spot that you know, and you know it's going to be on fire. In anticipation of just taking that cast. That's pretty cool too. Man, I hope they didn't blow me up. Let's give it like 3 more casts here. You know, fish have to know this is a pretty busy highway. And they're already here, so let's just slow this retrieve down. Got something out there. There we go. Oh, little something. I'm just liking this little spot right here because I'm protective. I get out there, I'm going to get a little bit of a breeze. Doesn't make my trolling motor work too hard. I think we're going to come off this troll. We're going to come off this spot though. There's some like, I think there's some water, nervous water out there just beyond this cut. It looks like there might be some fish out there. Some bait. Could just be mullet, but we're about to find out. I'm just gonna slowly let the current pull us that direction. Oh. Freeze. There's another bite. There he is. There he is. Spot lock on. There he is. He's in the same spot. He didn't move. They might have just settled down when that boat went by. But oop, little catch and release action there. Didn't even need to adjust my shrimp. They might have just settled down a little bit. As that boat went by and then just come back up. That I seem to be getting most of them in the middle to lower half of the water column. Just slow bumping this jig. Got a school fish right here. School mullet coming underneath us right now. You're not gonna be able to see him. Quite a bit more shallow right there though. I can see bottom. Man, I wonder if I did snag a rock or if I hooked into something with some serious shoulders on it earlier. The sun poking its nose through the clouds there a little bit. Tell you what, man, if that sun pops through, it's gonna be, I think it'll really turn these fish on. Yeah, they've got a bit of a bulkhead seawall here in this pass. Little pass through. It's a new pass through they put in, and it's really nice. Keeps it defined and tight. It doesn't let it fill in very quickly at all. This banks would just erode, and you'd have a little tight channel otherwise. So this gives it a really good cut. It funnels this water through very well. And the trout just like it. Oh golly, I tell you what, man, I need to work it slower. I have had 3 or 4 fish come up and grab this thing right as I have my hands off the reel and I'm going to do something. And therefore, I'm not reeling, it's dropping, and they're hitting it. Hit that on the drop. Oh, I love to hook into a big gator trout. There's a fish. Here's a fish. Tell you what, all I did was back up closer to the fishing hole because they're basically where I've been catching them all along. Right here at this mouth. And they're all about the same size, so give or take 2 or 3 inches. Just common for the trout. Just kind of stick together. Okay, well, that fishing report is getting more and more resembling the day I'm having. They said they got to the point they were catching them on bare hooks. Now, I'm not there yet, but I'm catching them. The old jellyfish going by. Water is so pretty, so clear. It's really coming through too now. I wonder though what they're feeding on. I'm not seeing any bait. Guess they're feeding on gulp shrimp. Maybe down at the bottom they're picking up on some stuff tumbling along. Here comes another school mullet. Yeah, I'll work this section over here for a minute. Quite a bit more shallow though. We're gonna sit here and have fun with these trout for a while, guys, so I hope you're enjoying it. I appreciate you tuning in. But we are gonna get into a little different terrain later in the video. There's gotta be a red here for us today. Here comes the sun a little bit. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. It's all right. See all kinds of little eddies and current flow where we've been pulling the fish out of. Well, let's take a couple casts this way and just slow roll it back with the current. Looking like a crazy shrimp that's up out of the mud and going for a swim. They say these gulp shrimp, you know, so good because you can smell it. It's wild that they can smell, sense, taste, I guess, through the water. But I think they've done studies on it. I guess it's true. I definitely think these gulp are worth the money and have something unique about them. Here comes another boater, kayaker coming off that creek. Got out of the wind. I'm sure they're happy. Try to force them to stay where they're at, so they don't get over into this section of the water where I'm catching fish. Yeah, that's next on my wish list, to get a kayak. Good morning. Get me a nice Hobie pedal kayak. That's the plan. Oh no. Mechanic or somebody working on that boat cranking up the radio. Excuse me, guys. My daughter's calling. I gotta take this call. Alright. That was my kid. Great kid. 17 years old. Very responsible. Wanting to know when I'm gonna get my truck back. She drives my truck most of the time, and I'm not needing it for fishing. There we go. Came back for it. Yes, sir. Should I do a test? I'm gonna do a test here, guys. This has been pretty consistent, pretty steady. picture of that. Might be a good thumbnail. I'm gonna just take a couple casts here with 2 other baits. One, first of all, we'll do another shrimp imitation. This is the Salt Strong Power Prawn. Then we will try the NLBN little paddle tail. Got this thing hooked weedless, you don't need that today. But let's just take a look here. What the Salt Strong guys will do, Luke from Salt Strong and Joe, this is going to drop a lot slower too. Actually, it doesn't have a jig head. Got it hooked weedless. I got a weighted belly hook, but they'll take the hook, they'll take a bait and work it 3 different casts between 2 baits, or maybe 3, I guess. 3 casts with the Power Prawn, 3 casts with the Gulp. 3 casts, you know, trying to give it a nice fair shake. And that's a great way to do it. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to give it a few casts here. Let's just see what happens. Definitely a little bit bigger of a presentation in the water. A little brighter. I would say the other thing looked more like a shrimp. I don't know. The one with this has got the chartreuse tail, so that kind of makes it not look so real, but let's just give it a shot here. Got a pretty consistent bite every X amount of casts I've been hooking up. There we go. Fish on. Fish on. And really, as well, you know, where the Berkley Gulps are going to really shine isn't going to be in a place where you're really consistently hammering like trout and catching good fish, because it does get to the point where these fish they'll hit anything when they're schooled up and hungry. Clear water, it's just a matter of kind of putting it in front of them. The Gulp is really good in that darker water, looking for like sensing fish. It's more of a sensory fish, like a redfish. It's kind of rooting around. You know, here it might be even, you know, a really good search bait. And then once you got them, maybe save them. Go to a little cheaper artificial, something a little more durable. We'll see. This thing's definitely working at a better rate. It's got a nice slow fall to it. Let's see, just giving a few more casts. I don't know, this thing does look pretty real actually. That little couple last twitches, it does really look like a shrimp. When they kick their tail and just kind of shoot around. We can get one more on this, and then I'll switch over and we'll see if they're interested in a paddle tail. We got to get at least one more. If we don't get one more and they just shut off on this, then and that last one was a fluky trout. but he turned off the radio. He was just probably doing a test. Two things I hate when I'm out fishing is blasting radios and lawnmowers, or any lawn service mower, edgers, weed eaters, blowers. Get into some of these communities, oh my gosh, it's just deafening. And one, I'm just out trying to relax, enjoy nature. I just don't want to hear pounding music from a flats boat. There's something rolled right up there. And two, it's just, I'm trying to record here, which, you know, obviously people don't care about that, but last thing I want to hear is bebop and music or a loud lawnmower in the background. I wonder if there ain't a couple dozen, 50, maybe 100 trout just kind of just scattered all throughout this little basin here. All right, a couple more casts and we are going to, oh, that one was right at the top. Coming back for it? He's like, that ain't no gulp. That don't taste right. That was a hit. Good sign. We'll give it a couple more casts before we make our final analysis. Fishy, fishy, come on. Come on, baby, baby, come on. This is the last cast and I'm switching to the NLBN for 5 casts. I'm not gonna call it a fail. I gotta do one more cast. But I think that gulp's working better. No, there we go. Oh, come on. Now, why is he letting that go? That's that bigger weedless hook. There we go. There we go. It's a little better fish. Yeah, they're working just the same. These fish are fired up. They are fired up. That's a better fish. That's a little better troutski. These are respectable trout too. These aren't just little dinks. Okay. That's a better one. Well, now the test will be on NLBNs. Are they just fired up on shrimp? Or, welcome to the operating table. This guy's got a mouth full of parasites. That sucks. Look at that. Look at all the parasites in there. Let's see if we get a little picture here for you guys. Always looking for a thumbnail. It don't matter what you catch. All that matters is the thumbnail, believe it or not. Hey, just gently. Goodbye. I don't know, they say get a rag all wet and hold them with that, right? Or is it just I need to get my hands wet? I just need to get my hands wet first. I feel like getting a rag wet for these trout would kind of... Grabbing them with a rag is gonna rip off all their slime, but I guess maybe a wet rag won't. I don't know. I think it's just gotta wet your hands. But by golly, them fish are wet and slimy as it is, and I wet my hands, and kind of makes it a bit of a pain in the butt. Point is, they do have, they're pretty sensitive little fellas. They don't have big heavy scales, and they use that protective slime to keep the parasites off them. I don't know what he's got going on with his mouth, but here we go. NLBN heavy jig head, about a 1/2 ounce jig head. Gonna fall fast. It's warming up though. I bet we pull one out on it for sure. Point being back about that slime is try not to rub so much of it off. The fish are soft, delicate. Trout are delicate fish. Just get them in, get them out. Try not to squeeze them too hard. They don't really have anything to spike you except for their teeth. All right, man, guys, it's really nasty out there in the harbor today. I came out of Ponce de Leon Park, and all my reels, guys, are 2500s. Just so you know that I've got with me today. 7-foot rods, 10-pound braid, 20-pound mono. Yeah, this thing will cast. And thankfully, again, the wind was behind me. Oh, there was a fish. Tighten the drag. Is there anything else out here besides trout, though? That'd be the question. And I still got a little wet on a couple waves that I should have slowed down on. But man, am I glad I don't have to go back out there again. Even coming up that main creek, it was sloppy, windy. I would have had to have been battling with my trolling motor. This is just perfect. I mean, I'm pretending like I'm just surrounded by mangroves, even though I'm in a residential canal. Feels like I am in here, though. I'm protected. I'm able to access this big opening here. And most importantly, I'm catching fish. Now, I need to not be casting over there. I need to just keep it in the sweet spot and give this thing a fair shake. That's a fish. That's the second hit I've had on it. From way downtown. Bang. Well, mullet just flopped. Just a little more of a mullet coming by here. This one might, this bait might actually catch more fish than anything. I've only thrown it, I think, 3 times. I've had 2 hits. That's a little better one. Quick catch and release. That's a little better fish too. I can cast it a country mile, which is letting me cover more ground, maybe even getting away from my noisy boat. Who knows, maybe this is more what they're dialed in on, is some kind of small glass minnow or little bait fish. I should just slow roll it in. Somebody's having an emergency. I don't know, this bait started off hot and cooled down a little bit. A great way you can have fun catching fish if you're not much of a fisherman, but you just want to catch something now and then. Actually, once in a while, hook into something big would be, if you live in these canals, especially if you've got a long run to get out, is just trolling. Troll with a big swim bait or a little 5-inch lip plug. Put inline single hooks on it. Get rid of the treble hooks. Keep it simple, just one rod. Since you're you're in the residential area, you got other boats and such. Just toss it out there. Cruise around at 5 miles an hour, 5 knots. If you got a 30-minute ride, it's a great way to catch fish. You'll catch. Is that a hook bent? You'll catch, catch some of these trout. Occasionally some snook, ladyfish, and mostly get into some jack. Mostly you'll catch smaller jack, but every once in a while you will catch a trophy jack, and you will have a blast reeling them in for your family. And you don't have to know how to fish at all. You just get a good rod set up, throw it out back. Like I said, just troll when that rod doubles over. Hand it to one of your family members and keep it out of the docks, out of the pilings. One more cast. We're gonna go back to the Gulp. Let's slow it down too. Let's work it slow. We'll get it out there. We'll give this a few more minutes, guys, with the Gulp, and then we're gonna move on to a new species. I hate to leave fish to find fish, but take this nice and slow. Hey, what? It's starting to warm up. I have to take this sweater off. Yeah, I'm not feeling this NLBN. Time and place, and it's not here. Or they could have just shut off. Let me get a quick drink break here. And then we're going to switch back to the Gulp New Penny. Man, I hope that wasn't as loud as I bet it sounded. It's so annoying hearing people drink like that, but anyway, sorry. Alright, the hood has come off the hoodie, and the whole hoodie's coming off. Yeah, just like that guy over there working on the boat. It's like, dude, it's getting hot. It ain't getting hot, it's actually just beautiful out. Alright, we're back to Gulp. We're going to give it 5 to 10 casts here. Now we're going to, first thing first, we're going to slide over and we're going to work that dock that we've been looking at. Probably pick up a trout along the way. There's the sun. One more cast, guys. Just give me one more cast to test this. Because maybe they're just dying off here, the bite. And it ain't the bait at all. Oh, there was one. Right in that honey hole. Alright, let's move. Let's motor. Let's go up front here and get on our horse. And let's go track down some fish. Now then, we're out here looking for a red. I'm looking for a red underneath one of these docks, believe it or not. Probably be more likely to catch a black drum than a red drum, but or a snook. Or a big trophy mangrove snapper. Oops, actually, there we go. There's a fish. What is this? That's a nice trout. I was just gonna say, I want to go over here and fish these bushes for a second. Let it sit, and that's the biggest trout of the day. That's the biggest trout of the day. Right there with him. I caught a couple like it. But he's the same size, if nothing else. Let go. You're free. It's a solid little fish right there. Little worms all over his head. Solid fish. Alright. Now, the trout bite continues. Shout out to Fishin' Franks. They got a YouTube channel. They do reports, and that's where I heard the report on this little spot. Up here and beat this bush here. See if there's not something hanging underneath it. Oh, do we got another canal there? But I did just see a bait flicker in front of it. We got to go investigate this. Is that cut through, or is it like a little, just a little boat ramp? We're about to find out. Can't complain about this can of Gulp I got. There's another bait flipping right there. That's the first sign of bait I've seen all day. Another one. Boy, it's holding bait, that little cove right there. If there ain't no trout, a little snook holding up in there, then I don't know why not. A little dead end is all it is. And it's loaded with bait right out front of it. Nice little school bait, minnows. Anyway. Yeah, that goes back pretty good. Gotta be a red back there. Here's a bait right here. Thick right in front of us. Let's just post up here for a minute. I'm really surprised that I'm not getting hit. Now, the casting technique is going to really come into play. I mean, look at these docks. They're just loaded with oysters. You got to get back in there to get the bite. Try not to get beat up, your bait beat up by bouncing it off everything. You're trying not to get your line frayed up. Really surprised, but let's spin around here and go find them. They ain't here. That's funny. First spot I've seen with any kind of bait. And no hits. something coming up to me. I think there's a couple of snook under that dock. I'm not even going to try to make these perfect, amazing casts to the back every time, because you're going to miss quite a few and then I'm going to get hung up. So we are now entering into the dock fishing phase. Let's see how we do. Again, I'm not going to try to just make every perfect cast. I'm just going to be working the outer pilings. Howdy. Cover enough ground, we ought to get something. See if we get into our trout hole from the opposite direction. There we go. Oh, come off. No, they're still there. Oh, he's come back for it too. I fight for this gulp shrimp now. What do we got here? Puffer. Doggone puffer. Doggone puffer. Better hurry up, we're blowing right by the best of this dock. There's a good cast. I'm getting so many puffers in these canals. See them out on the flats, but oh, there's a bite. All right, here we go. Let's head down this canal. We'll kind of beat both sides. Beat the bushes on my port and the pilings on my starboard, and see. Got a nice little stretch here where it comes to another opening. We're just going to fish all the way through to that opening, and then we will reassess. See if I get this trolling motor heading in the right direction. Trying to lock in this true north, so I'll be able to hit a button and it hold that line, and then I don't have to touch it unless I'm hooked up. All right, what we're gonna do is go back to plan A just for a little bit. I went to plan B, started hitting some docks. I had a little snook on, saw another little guy. Wasn't feeling it, and did that for about a half an hour. And so I've come back to where we started. I'm just gonna run through here again and just see, you know, if anything's changed. See if the bite's got a little hotter now that it's warmed up. See if the bite's gone cold. But I hate to leave fish to find fish, which we did, and we didn't, so we're back to where we saw them in the first place. find a bite, you're having fun, might as well stay on it. Because the alternative, not catching fish, is, well, potentially not catching fish, is a drag. You know, I was listening to Frank's YouTube channel. He's saying people complain sometimes, oh, all we're doing is catching these fish. I was catching so many of this, that, or the other fish, and, you know, I wanted to catch something else. It's like, well, you know, they're rich folk problems. We're catching so many doggone trout. I wanted a snook, couldn't get it. I'm just glad I got the day out and I'm getting fish. Got fish anyway. I don't know how many I caught. Must have caught 20. All in that one, well, almost all of them in that one hole. To get our very first one right here on, like, I think my first or second cast. So let's see if we can locate them again. There's got to be one big gator in here. Gator trout. These days, gator trout doesn't have to be very big at all. People call it a gator trout. I guess it's all up to the eye of the beholder, but I tell you one thing, my uncle caught a gator trout one time. Golly, there's something right there, probably a mullet. That was a long time ago. I could imagine the trout fishing back then. 30, yeah, easy 30 years plus ago. Key Acosta, we were camping. It had been a long day. Took his little sailboat out there, and I'm not even gonna tell you how long it took to get there from Grassy Point, Upper Charlotte Harbor. We had issue after issue, little boat, and we got there. My cousins, I didn't care. I was glad to be skipping school and going camping. Oh man, these puffers, relentless. Man, I was glad to be missing school and camping, and when we got there, we'd been in the boat all day. I will tell you how long it took us. It took us 9 hours to get there. Old Pop-Pop's boat would have got there in an hour, 45 minutes if we were pushing it. Uncle Davy's sailboat, like, we had to take a trip to Punta Gorda, mind you, like to get some part by boat, and then he walked. It was just a nightmare. We get there, I didn't want to fish. I was just hanging out with my cousins, and he's gonna go fishing. It's getting dark, golden hour, magic hour. We're gonna run through here kind of fast till we locate him. This troll motor going, and he comes walking back down the beach. He's fishing. We were in Key Acosta, Pelican Bay side. He was waiting out there. He didn't have any bait, so he was throwing something, I don't know what, probably either a spoon or a jig, bucktail jig or something like that. And he came walking down the beach with the biggest trout I have ever seen personally in my life. I mean, this wasn't no Louisiana trout. This thing was, which they get big down there. This Texas, I think they get bigger there. This thing was as long as his leg. I mean, I'm not gonna put an inch on it. I'm just saying it was gargantuan. I just couldn't believe how big this fish was. He wasn't gone for 15 minutes. He probably didn't even catch anything else. Oh my gosh, I gotta go fish over there. I don't even think there's any grass flats left over there. It's so sparse. Right on the open water. Like if he'd been looking like all the way down the harbor at Port Charlotte. It was way open water. There was no back bay or nothing. We filleted him up, had him for dinner. Then he's trying to set the tent up in the dark. That was a nightmare, but we camped on the boat. That is the biggest trout I ever seen. Biggest trout story I know. Alright, well, moseying on through here, passing the first spot, into the second, into the honey hole. I hope they're still there. I haven't caught a fish in 30 minutes. I'd like to catch a couple more. Cap this day off. Well, now take down your fishing pole and meet me at the fishing hole. We might not get a bite all day, but don't you run away. Whether it's hot, whether it's cool, weather is fine for fishing like a fool. They are. There they are. They're still here. That's a good one. That's a good one. And he was coming at me and I was coming at him. Easy, easy, crawler. I know you're green. I didn't mean to bring you in like that. I just didn't want you to get off. You were running at me and the boat was coasting at you. That's another good one, man. Good trout. Come off the flats. That's super cold water. I don't think there's really much in here for them to eat right now either. I think they're just trying to stay warm, and man, you see that gulp go by. See ya. They gotta have it. I wasn't able to show them to you properly, but once they start flipping, if I've got them over the water, I like to just let them go, not try to squeeze the life out of them to hold them, or have them flop into the boat, scare everything, beat theirself up. Okay, as my grandpa would say. As soon as we got even close to this spot, kind of right on top of where he hit it. Sun's out. You ought to be able to see this thing pretty good. I'd be able to get into a little bit of a bite again, I would imagine. Well, let's ease back on in there. Boy, it is nice. Let me tell you, there's a fish. It is so nice having this foot pedal. You know, I used to only use the remote because I didn't have a foot pedal. And I had to get a foot pedal because it's such a pain in the butt going to grab a fish, grab your reel and have a fish hit you, or you're having a fish on and you got to adjust the trolling motor and you end up losing them. So I got the foot pedal and I love it, and I use that all the time. But now the way to do it is both. It really works out, man. No matter where I'm at the back of the boat, I can move the motor. Get to the front, I can use the foot pedal. Best of both worlds. With the spot lock, and been using that True North technology a little bit, where it just kind of holds your heading. It works as long as you're on a straight line. You know, if you're fishing a shoreline that's got a lot of dog legs in it, then you're gonna have to turn it yourself a lot. But oh, right there, you hit it. I was just reeling it in. Dang it. They're still here, guys. They're still here. Let's just lock it up again right here. Come down about 30 feet down the creek here. These have been fun. These have been a really fun sized trout bite today. No monsters, but some keepers. I wanted to. There's one. Nope. Dang it. Man. Momentum of the boat heading that way, and I didn't have enough to. I got this dry kind of set light so I can fight these little guys. As I just was saying, that they're not that little. Sometimes that backfires on me. That one felt pretty good. They're still here. That wind is picking up. It's going to be sloppy out there. We'll get a look at it when we get back to the ramp, but we won't have to run in it. Wind's kind of to my back now, so I will be able to cast this thing as far as I want. I don't think I'll really need to move us again. We're either going to get in them here or we're not. And I think we are. Oh. Could it have been a puffer? Could it have been a puffer? Let's see. Nope, we still got our shrimp. See if I can smell this thing still. Yeah, still got a smell to it. Trolling motor's starting to get a little too close. Now when you hit the spot lock, I'll do it right now, I'm pretty sure it's the trolling motor, unless it's the puck. There's a puck right there on top of my center console. They call it a puck. I guess, oh, that's what, is it a manatee? That's right over. I guess, I'm not sure if it's centered there, like it says we're going to keep you right there, or if we're going to keep you right where the trolling motor is. I don't know where the center of attention is, I guess, for lack of better wording. But it's not the back of the boat, it's not the anchor. It's either the dead center or the trolling motor. And when you say lock, it tries to pin you right there. There's a good bite. I feel like I hear a boat coming too. There we go. Man, pretty trout, man. Really pretty trout. Just a great size fish, great bite. Hold still, hold still, hold still, hold still, hold still. Belly flop. Well, can you stand a few more? Let's just give it a few more casts and then we will call it. Puffer, right there, vicious, like a little shark. Okay, last one that I'm using today anyway. I went through a bunch of them and I still got a bunch left. So, worth it, I'd say. Worth the price of admission. Bump. Bump, bump. Oh, golly, I know what that is. It's what it is. Alright, guys, I'm getting tired of feeding these puffers. We're going to move on. I will see you guys at the boat ramp. if I don't spot something fishy in between. Well guys, that's gonna do it. I'm going to head down this long canal, bit of a ride, but at least I won't get into the bumpy stuff and get the boat out of the water. Check out deep canals, deep water, deep bays even in this wintertime for trout. They like to hang in that water. When it gets cold, they drop off the cold flats and get into deeper water, and it's just a great fish to find this time of year. Fishing sometimes can be tough. It can be great if you find them though. It can be like shooting fish in a barrel, but they're not as scattered. They're more concentrated. So anyway, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys watching. More videos to come. Got this GNU, loving having it so I can find new spots like this, and it's so much fun, very exciting finding new water and actually getting on a bite as well. So more exploration and new spots to come all over the harbor, Pine Island to Sarasota, up and down. I'm gonna try to find all the fish. So anyway, thanks for watching guys. We will see you next time in the harbor, the most beautiful harbor in the state of Florida, for sure. That's just the facts, guys.